Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. I know my ears started itching just as I was pressing the record button. It's like, ah. Anyway, yeah, sorry about that. I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd pop up here and log my progress. After all, this is kind of what that's what this channel is all about. All about my journey with everything I've been dealing with for the last 3 years, ever since having what I believe was COVID. All I know is it was horrible. It lasted 3 weeks and never got over it. So, hopefully we are starting to get some answers. I've been seeing Mayo. We're going to Mayo here in Minnesota for, I think it was, October was my first appointment, something like that. And I had to make some changes, so on and so forth. I got some delays, but continued on. So, anyway, yeah, we are starting to get some answers. Being able to rule out some things. Yay! Finally clearing a slate that hasn't been... I haven't been able to clear for basically a couple of years, pretty much. But, yeah, finally starting to get some answers. Still waiting on test results, and I'm sure that there's going to be more tests that are going to be done. One thing I want to have done is see if we can do an even closer look at the scarring that was detected on my lungs the other day, Wednesday, when I had to go in for an emergency CT. It's about a 2-hour drive to go down there from where I'm at, about an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on traffic, how fast drive, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was it was a bit intense trying to get down there and do what we need to do and so forth, especially since I had just been down there and the weather that day was horrendous. So, but anywho, yeah, that's one thing I want to talk to my doctor about. Also, he had mentioned that the other department, dang, I can't remember the term that they use, but anyway, they have their own ways to be able to detect long COVID, so I definitely want to explore that option as well. What we're waiting on right now is testing, basically GAD antibody testing, to double check, make sure we're not dealing with stiff person syndrome. Because of how I've been feeling in here, it's acting the same way as stiff person. So we're waiting on that, and also rule out RSV antibody. So, yeah. In the meantime, I have been exploring with anti-inflammatory diet. I was on it once before, several years ago, and my ear is driving me nuts. Sorry. So I'm exploring with that again. That is proven to be very interesting. Also drinking arnica tea and also the echinacea tea from Yogi. The brand is called Yogi. And that's got a lot of anti-inflammatories in it as well. Basically things that, herbs like cinnamon, black pepper will help with inflammation throughout the body. And it's proven to be very interesting with what I'm going through. I did do some more research yesterday. I had mentioned I wasn't cutting out dairy primarily because of calcium, but I did some more research. I thought I was right in saying that kale is a good source of calcium. It is. So is spinach and well, basically your leafy greens, like collards, I can't remember what else, but anyway, all those are really good. So I went ahead and put those on my grocery list. I've done the kale diet before, and making my own salad dressing. It's basically an herb-based dressing with using olive oil and what was it that I was seeing? I think olive oil was. Oh, I think olive oil was a good source of vitamin E. But anyway, olive oil and red wine vinegar, a combination of those. I think the recipe that I have is 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, a couple of garlic cloves, chopped up, basically minced, that smallness, and then a little bit of salt, cracked peppercorn, basil, and oregano. So nice little herb dressing. I mean, if you want to, you could also throw in some dried cilantro. Basically you're just seasoning, whatever, to taste. So, and you just do it in like a small canning jar or something, swirl it up, drizzle it on your salad, and you're good to go. Okay? So, anywho, that's where I'm going to be switching over to that as well, and get myself off of dairy as much as possible. Switch back over to almond milk. Before I had done Malk, the brand Malk, M-A-L-K. I like to, and now that Califia Farms also has one that's a bigger size. Both of those are organic. So, and they don't have all those fillers in them, like Silk and, what's the name of the other one? I can't think of it. I used that one all the time until Malk came on the market, and now Califia Farms has it. But it's basically 3 ingredients, and like I said, doesn't have all those fillers. So, dang, I can't remember. It's a blue label. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, you know which ones I'm talking about. So those are the 2 that I recommend. Like I said, Califia Farms, the organic, unsweetened. If you want to, you can do the vanilla if you want to. But it's up to you. But yeah, that one and Malk, both of those. And like I said, I do unsweetened, so that way I'm adding my own sweetener, the right amount of sugar that I prefer. I do, as far as sugar is concerned, I do organic cane sugar, basically. Okay, you could do honey if you want to, or if you want to, something like stevia or something. So, oh man, yeah. But I'm going to switch over to that, and even though I'm not fond of the taste, I'm going to do the non-dairy yogurt as well. The big thing that with what I read is looking at the labels to see, because basically they don't come naturally with calcium. They're fortified with artificial calcium, basically. But as long as you're getting calcium, especially if you're going to be getting it from like kale or something like that. But and also the other thing is B12 too. So a lot of them will do B12. So as soon as I'm out of the others, I'm going to see about switching over to one of those. But I'm going to read my labels to make sure, as far as the yogurt is concerned, read the yogurts to make sure that it has all of the probiotics that I'm looking for. I was even thinking about researching probiotics to look for ones that might assist with scar tissue. So see what happens with that. But in the meantime, it's been kind of interesting with what I am going through. I keep having issues with night sweats. I realize I'm at that age or what have you, but I'm still getting my periods. What's weird is even not just with sleeping, like during the day yesterday, gosh, I was just so hot. It's like, damn, So I'm kind of wondering if my body is trying to get all that inflammation out, through sweating and so forth, but I might be having maybe some issues. But I was definitely, with sleep last night, I was definitely doing quite a bit of sweating. It's like, oh my gosh, I woke up this morning and I'm just like, oh my gosh, turn this heat off. I keep the vent closed so I'm not worrying about the air circulation or the heat, and that's pumped in throughout the rest of the house or whatever. I've kind of created like a bubble or what have you here in this room. And it only has the one vent, so I got that stuffed. And it also helps with the odors that are coming in through from the rest of the house. That can have a tendency to irritate. So I don't have to worry about that too terribly much. But and then I just have the space heater here, and that does a really good job at helping with keeping the heat throughout here. But this morning I had to turn it off and throw the window open. It's about around freezing right now, and I know my poor baby here is freezing her butt off. But damn, I could even throw on a pair of shorts. I'm just so hot. I feel like I'm just sweating, just trying to get this heat out of my body. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now, which is fine by me. Get it out. And I did before I went to bed. Well, of course, I had to get up overnight to take my insulin with the schedule that I have myself on with work. I don't take my nighttime insulin until I get home. Well, basically, my Lantus. I'm a diabetic, type 1, for those of you who don't know. And what's interesting, with the Lantus, basically with being a type 1, there's two different insulins you have to take. You have to take short-acting with your meals, and then there's one that you take once every 24 hours. That's basically the long lasting. And that one, anytime I take it, it always drops me, of course, and pretty good to the point where I just get really, really sleepy. I've tried taking it with being out on the road. Not a good idea. So I find that I just get way too sleepy. So I find it's best just to take it at around 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It lasts about 36 hours, something like that, but you'll start seeing it start wearing off at around the 24-hour mark, but there's some residual in the body during those last 12 hours, basically. So, yeah, it's a good idea to take it at around the same time every single day. I usually take it around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, because that's usually around the time that I'm getting home from work. So if my days or my nights that I'm not working, I'll fall asleep early, get some sleep, get up overnight, take it, eat something a little bit, and go back to bed. Well, when I did that last night, the first half of sleep, I did fine, but then the second half, it was like, damn, what the hell happened? It was like, I'm just like sweating to death. So, and I know we do have another winter storm coming in, so I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if that's part of it, because I was back to having some weird dreams again. So I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if that's part of what was going on, having some more weird dreams. But before I went back to bed, getting back to what I was saying, I don't know, I was just feeling in here, I'm just like, I felt like I needed to put some essential oils on, the ones that kind of help with the breathing or whatever. So basically lavender and rose essential oils. So I put those on. Yeah, I woke up this morning a little congested, and I put some on here on my throat as well. Anything to kind of help bring down inflammation a little bit. And I would say it definitely helped. I feel like what is happening is things are starting to calm down. I was seriously considering doing some yoga this morning, but I'm like, no, let's let things calm down really, really well. Everything has been so tense in here for so long. I still want to get some arnica gel. I definitely want to do that. I didn't really put any on up in here, and I probably should have. But I was more focusing in through here. Yeah, it's kind of hurting a little bit. I would love to work this out. Gosh, it just keeps, tightening in there. It's one of the reasons why I don't do my yoga. But like I said, I really want to see about getting some arnica gel. That and this other stuff too, that I used to get from the Vitamin Shop, but now they just do it strictly as a roll-on. So I'm thinking I might get that, and with the two combined, it might help with this in here. I don't know. I'll have to see. But yeah, I just really, I feel like my body is trying to expel a lot of inflammation, kind of like what I went through when I had my car accident 8 years ago, where I just could not get any restful sleep because of all my back was just on fire, and I would sleep at nighttime and I was just expelling all this heat. I feel like I had the same thing happening here, and I just could not cool off for anything when I had my back injury. And like I said, I feel like I'm going through the same thing with here. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe what I'm doing is helping, It would be awesome. I hope so. But we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed. But, yeah, I wish I could remember what he called it. It's not interdisciplinary, but basically it's a department where they really dive into more herbal remedies to help people with situations, especially people like me who are sensitive to medications or don't feel comfortable with medications. So we'll see. But speaking of medications, I don't remember if I mentioned it in yesterday's video or not. But there are medications that are supposed to help with lung scarring. Basically, they call it pulmonary fibrosis. And there's different types of PF. One of them is, I don't remember what the first term is, but it begins with an I, so they call it IPF, and basically they have that designation for when you have PF that's unidentifiable, okay, as to the source, okay, as to the reason why it happened. So, anyway, there's 3 different medications that are out there. One of them was just approved in October of this year. This is 2025 still. So, but unfortunately, with looking at the side effects with each of them, I don't think they would be a very good fit for me. Primarily because they cause a lot of abdominal issues, nausea to the point of vomiting even, abdominal cramping and so forth, and I've already got gut issues, and part of it is abdominal cramping. So I don't think that's going to be a very good fit for me. So we're going to have to rely on possibly other alternatives. One of them is oxygen therapy, and I have been saying for basically the last 3 years, especially with the wildfire situations, with them coming in from Canada, or the year before when I was still in Vegas with the wildfire smoke coming in from Cali. It's like I just felt like I needed oxygen, basically a mask, a mouthful face mask where I'm just breathing that in. So I think that that's going to be something that we can discuss. And I'm definitely going to force that issue. So to at least have on hand for when those issues come up, even like with allergies, when I'm getting those inflammations, to have on hand for when I just absolutely can't handle it any longer. So, yeah, I'm definitely gonna see about discussing that as well. I'm still back and forth as far as going to the allergist is concerned. I'm thinking that my best bet at this point would be to wait to find out, the test results from the others, and also, excuse me, to see if we can do more in-depth imaging with that tissue scarring, and also to see if we can do the long COVID testing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking to do. Just hold off on that for right now until we can have a better discussion, and then do a plan of action, and then possibly have that included in with it. I don't know. Then again, maybe it might be a good idea for me to go, because I know in the initial appointment that I had made, we were looking at February, but then I was put on the waiting list to see about getting in sooner, and that's how I wound up with next week's appointment. At least in that way, I would be in their system already, because the initial is supposed to be the consult, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of back and forth with it. I might wind up just going primarily because at least in that way I'd already be in their system, and then all I'd have to maybe do is make another appointment to go back or something. I don't know. But then again, I wound up with the same situation with the primary. Well, I had to cancel the appointment because of the car situation, and I wound up having to wait a month before I could get back in to see him again. So, right, kind of double-edged sword there. So, but yeah, it's kind of where we're at right now with everything. Otherwise, yeah, I think I'm going to hold off on doing my yoga stretches. I don't know, about maybe going for a walk even. I don't know, I feel like I just need to stretch my muscles out, I know what it is. It's atrophy because of the lessened amount of oxygen in my body. I know that's what it is now. So, yeah, it's kind of where I'm at right now. But I just wanted to come up here. I use this as information to delve out to people who may be going through something similar. But it's more of a way for me to talk things out, to be perfectly honest. So if people watch, fine. If not, fine too. So that's the way I look at it. I just don't care at this point. It's more about me. So, did not work last night primarily because of how I was feeling. I was really having difficulties breathing, lightheaded, and so forth. It was 90% humidity, so the air was really thick, and it was making it difficult for me to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So what I did, Angie, my friend Angie and the fam, they got me a couple of kitchen items, which I absolutely love, because I really do love cooking and so forth, and I love kitchen gadgets. So she got, I should say they, her daughter Megan helped to pick out these jars with the flip top lids, okay, glass, okay. So I decided to really free up my canning jars that I have, that I use for, that I was using for like my salt and my pink Himalayan sea salt, basically, my cracked peppercorn, or actually, no, it's using for my salt, my sugar, and my cacao powder, and put them in the flip top jars. And also, I had been wanting to get a peppercorn grinder, because unfortunately I've been using the cheap thing, that the cracked peppercorn comes, and I buy, of course, the organic, the peppercorn melange, but it comes with a really cheap plastic grinder, and it's such a pain in the ass. Anyway, the other gift that they got me was a mortar and pestle marble. Mortar and pestle. Sheer toll marble. So, and I didn't really have a whole lot left of peppercorn left. So, in that jar. So I'm like, you know what I'll do? I'll take and just grind it up. And that'll, the peppercorn aroma would get into my lungs and help to free up my lungs too, help with the breathing. So I'm like, and that definitely helped a lot. And then of course I'm a little lightheaded because now I'm getting oxygen and this and that and everything, and it's like, okay, I need to lay down. I did take care of some other things in the kitchen as well, but it was just like, oh my gosh, I need to lay down afterwards. It was like, forget it. So yeah, one of the reasons why I got quite a bit of sleep. But otherwise, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now with everything. And fingers crossed, I'm going to be able to get back to work tonight. So, but yeah. So, anywho, I would really like to be able to get back to work tonight. I will admit, I still wasn't feeling really quite up to work yesterday with everything that had happened the day before and so forth. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling quite right still. But today I'm feeling a little bit more energized. Even though we had the storm coming in and so forth, I'm feeling a little bit more energized. So even though I've got a little bit of a headache, I can handle that. And we've had a lot of fog here. That humidity that we had yesterday, it turned into a really thick fog last night. So in some ways, especially with how I was feeling and everything, I'm so glad I was not out there working in that. It would have made things even more difficult. I know that. So I'm just trying to work with my body and with the weather right now and everything. So, and at some point, I very much would like to, get back home. So. But all in good time. I'm just working on things and trying to work with my body as best I can. So, anywho, that's where I'm at right now. All right, and little lady here, she's curled up on her new blankie, looking out the window, hearing the cars going by because I still have the window open. It keeps waking her up. And, yeah, I'll close it before I go downstairs. It is getting a little chilly. But Mom is hot. She needed to cool off. It's like, damn, I know. And one nice thing about this diet, too, I'm losing a little bit of weight. Yay! Probably another reason why my body's trying to expel all that inflammation. There's not, I'm losing body fat, too. Yay! Love it. I want to lose weight. I need to lose weight. So, anywho. Alright. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for myself right now. I'll talk to you later. Love yous.